We're going to make a little fish and red bean garlic soup. If you like Mexican food and you like fish stew, this item, this is the second time I've made it. It just goes together very nicely. You see all the vegetables cut up, everything fresh. Lots of tomato, onion, carrots, celery, green pepper, fresh cilantro. The potatoes I cut up like matchsticks. And I'm using black bass, but you can use any fish you like as long as it makes a good fish stock. And this is the good fish stock cooking from the black bass. Filet of sole, the bones work well, red snapper works well, anything that's a little sweet. So we're going to saute all of this, put it together, it doesn't take long. And in the back there, we have the red beans. Cook the red beans first and just wait. And when all this goes together, you'll see how nice it looks. And okay, we're going to start cooking everything. The prep time is what takes the longest in this. From this point on, it won't take too long. Put some good olive oil in there, extra virgin if you like. Get the vegetables. Put them in there and let them sweat up a little. We're not looking for color. But if you do get some color, don't worry about it. It's all good. A lot of vegetables. It'll cook down a little bit. Nice high flame. You can season now or we can season later. Since it's a soup, I season it later. No sense in wasting film on this. Just stir it every minute or so until everything looks soft, and then we'll do the rest. High flame. Always forgetting something, but caught it just in time. The potatoes. See how nice and thin, like shoestring? This will give it, I'm not going to use any cornstarch thickening this up. The potatoes should break down a little. The red beans are smashed somewhat, so they'll give the soup a nice body. And then later at the end, we'll throw the cilantro and the fish in. The fish I'm going to season. We'll take the fish, and we'll take my little salt and pepper mix here, and we'll sprinkle this over the fish, mix it up, and then we'll add it later. Let's put a little thyme in here. We have the babe leaves and the dry whole chilies I put into the fish stock. So that's why you don't see it in here. You can use fresh thyme. Dry thyme works very well if it's not that old. And this one I use is very fresh. And as you see, it's shrinking a little, getting a little translucent. Another couple of minutes and then I'm going to throw the fish stock in there. Let it cook. This won't take long at all. Nice high flame. There's so much moisture and everything in there that's very difficult for this to brown, especially with the tomatoes, so you don't have to worry. So a high flame works well. Well, all in all, this has been about 10 minutes of this. Now we're going to add, let me speak to you about the fish stock. This fish stock that you're making has to be very strong. And this is 2.5 quarts. Now this is going to cook down because we need room for the beans. And I want this thick. This is really almost like a stew. But we'll call it a soup stew because it's like in between. And that's why it's so tasty. It's heavy, thick. Anyway, let that reduce. That'll take about a half hour of boiling. Not to boil it over. When it boils, lower it a little so you don't make a mess on your stove like I do on mine. Use a pot of this size, it'll boil faster because it's wide. If you used a pot like this, it would boil slower because it's tall. Just to let you know. Just about ready to add the bean mixture. But the difficulty in this, see, if you were making the beans like I did, I put just a drop too much water in. I assumed it would cook down and be just right, but the beans got done, and I kept on cooking it, but this is what I wound up with. So now this has to be reduced even more to accept all of that. So if you were careful, and also if you make the fish stock ahead of time, which I didn't, after making the 2.5 quarts, I would have reduced that down to 1.5 quart. Then there would have been no problem. But I'm doing this all like a la minute. So we're going to add the fish, cilantro, and I found scallions, and that's always a good thing. Now we put the beans in there, and I'm pretty sure it will accept all of this. And right after this goes in, we'll add the fish, which I'm going to add right now, since fish only takes a couple of minutes to cook. Lower the flame, because I'm coming up to the edge of this, but it will take all of what I have here. That's what I call luck. I'll wait just 2 minutes before I add the scallion and the cilantro. And now we will just gently mix this. And when the people, I'm not adding any salt. For me, I don't want any more. And it's an item where you can have salt and pepper on the table and season this soup yourself, which will make everybody happy. Now, the color's nice. Everything is in there the way it should be. Now, I don't have a lot of fish in there because I'm more concerned about the flavor, which I got from the fish stock, an abundance of fish bones. You could double the amount of fish if you're looking for a lot of fish, even triple it. So the fish doesn't, you can put as much in there as you want. Now we'll simmer this for just a couple of minutes, and then we'll be done. Now we'll add the scallions, the cilantro, get all of that cilantro out of there. Give it a nice mix, and we are ready to serve. Now I am sprinkling some Parmesan cheese on mine, and my wife will be putting a little sour cream in hers. So you have quiet here and you'll listen to what I say. That's it. Now let's see what this looks like. That's it. Shut the flame off. Take some of this. This makes easily at least 4 quarts. So there you go. Now I am having Parmesan cheese on mine, like so. I will sit down now and enjoy this, and I hope when you make it, you'll enjoy it also.